Peace, family. So I'm back with another one. Today what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk to my chosen ones about how the statement, my truth, my reality, is a way of them forcing their false reality into your real reality. You know, this whole my truth, your truth, their truth, they truth, the truth, it's only one truth. You know what I mean? And the more you try to twist it and dilute it, the more it becomes a bigger issue, and the more it allows the beings and the entities who use the other playbook to be able to sauce it up to implement their word spells on you. So you gotta think about like that statement in itself, like, yeah, this is my truth. Well, think about it like this. If I'm in a community of people and I'm just yelling out my truth and I'm walking awkwardly distant from my truth, because if you follow in God the Creator, Most High, whatever you want to call him, it's the truth. It's not called my truth. So if I'm in a community walking along my truth, that means my truth, I'm literally forcing other beings, I'm forcing my truth into their realities. And a lot of people just have become acceptant of this whole process. And it's like, your neighbors do affect your reality. The people around your environment, your space, does affect your reality. And the more delusions you allow people to sit in your space, the harder it's gonna be for you to dig yourself up out of that waste. Like, the process of just even understanding, this is a huge plane already. We're gonna have to wait this one. That one looked a little special. But back to the topic. As far as this whole my truth thing, right? We can use the most obvious example of this my truth thing, which is prevalent out here everywhere. You know, you got men wanting to be women, women wanting to be men. These beings get to walk around and say, this is my truth, my truth, my truth. But then to the beings in the younger generation who don't have teachings and people around to show them differently, and to the other adults around who don't have anyone guiding them or instructing them or leading them in a better direction, this being's truth, their truth, is spilling all the way over into your reality. And it's no different than the shows that we watch where we could see where all this stuff they were saying was witchy, which is, you know, they're not trying to force on anybody, but then we're seeing all this witchy stuff in all these TV shows and movies. And even if you don't watch TV shows and movies, you're going to see it on social media. Because for some reason, males like putting on dresses to do comedy. Like, there's no other way to do comedy besides putting on a dress or pretending to be a female. Like, that used to be funny back in the day before we was in the middle of this war. But now it's not funny anymore, and it's just showing what side you stand on to be doing those things, you know. Then you got a lot of other beings out here who started joining this spiritual wave of being tapped in, but they tapping into the wrong side. And then they're using all kind of witchy spells and doing all these things behind the scene in the spiritual realm, and then they'll convince you that this is their truth. So when people are debating with you, arguing or conversating with you, and they use that, well, this is my truth thing, it's only the truth. It's only the truth. You know, people always make it seem like, oh, if a situation happened, it's always two sides to every story or two sides to every coin or however many people involved, you know. And it's always like, that's not true. You know, to get to the core of it, you have the truth. You have the situation that happened at hand. You know what I mean? Like, say you just went and, I don't know, say you just went to go jump in the water and they told you not to jump in the water. You know what I mean? And now you're telling that somebody done told on you, they done reported you, and now you're dealing with this conversation This shit is literally looping around in a circle. This is crazy. Literally flying right over top of me. That is creepy. This shit is getting weirder and weirder out here. That same big ass plane just flew around and it just lapped around. You gotta stay on your toes out here at all times. That's one thing I will say. So I'm always out filming, so you always gonna catch me being on high alert of my surroundings. I don't give a damn if it's way in the air. They still be doing weird shit, dropping shit, all kind of shit, you know what I mean? But back to the example I was giving. Say you jumped in the water you wasn't supposed to, somebody done went and told on you. Now they're coming over there telling they done went and told, hey, yeah, I told them not to jump in the water, they went and jumped in anyways, blah, blah, blah. And then you get out while they're talking to you, you saying, hey, they never told me not to jump in the water, they just saw me in the water. And so the other person may be looking at the situation as if, oh no, this is my truth, this is the way, and you're telling the situation exactly as it happened. It's not that that's your truth, you're just telling it exactly as it happened. You know, and the more we allow people to twist us up and to twist this shit up, man, it's just gonna make it worse. It's only 2 playbooks. Which team are you riding with? You know what I mean? And when it comes to the truth, not my truth, because even the way I walk in my life in this light, it's not my truth. It's the truth. I didn't put the blueprint down out here. I didn't tell me, hey, to follow it. I was instructed and guided. It's a very simple process, but the other team, the witchy team, will complicate things and it'll make it more confusing. So, and you can look at a numerous amount of things. They talk about all this, oh, we're in a new day and age and time. It's only new in day and age because you're walking in those steps. That's like saying, when I went to prison, like, oh, everybody had to be gay because that's the new age and time. It's like, no, it's not, nigga. I ain't gay, so I'm not about to do none of that weird stuff. It's simple. If that's the reality they want to live in, you have to stand even more firmer and solid in yours. Because they aren't gonna, what's gonna happen is the way the system is set up right now, right? We have to use spiritual tactics in order to move that to the side, and it is looping back around for a 3rd time, and it's like it's getting lower, and it's literally flying right over top of me. Hey, you gonna have the witchy shit inside the house, you gonna have it outside the house. What we supposed to be working on is how we respond and react to the universe that we in. You know what I mean? I've been doing this long enough now that I know not to get frustrated, angry, and mad. Like, unless I'm gonna jump in my airplane, which I don't have one, and chase them around and fly them out the area, like, I gotta just chill. So now I just let them pass and we enjoy the views, you know what I'm saying? He gonna keep lapping, we gonna have another scenic shot, and I will get my ass out the way. You know what I mean? But this whole my truth, these are witches and warlords when you hear people say these things. So be very, very high alert when you are around people that use these word spells and this language of my truth. It's a subtle way of influencing and manipulating the words and the energy to get you to believe in what they are saying and doing. A lot of what we do and how we choose to walk our life is based on what we believe in, and that's where 90% of your power comes from. You know what I mean? So if the people around you can get you to believe in my truth, then it eliminates some of your power that you were given. What I try to do is, right, Because I don't like being in a confused space or in a confused state. Even though we all have to bump around and know those spaces, you know what I mean? I know it well enough, and I know peace well enough to know that I would much rather be in a peaceful space than in a confused and chaotic space. So when you eliminate all of that stuff, you got to understand the playbook that comes with the demonic shit. So my truth is in one of their chapters. The my truth doesn't come in until probably you get to like chapter 5 or 10, because you'll realize most of the people who saying my truth, they just kind of start growing or learning more about, they start indulging and spewing out more of that information that's already out here. So for them, that's a great way to blanket what they're actually trying to present and do, which they know ain't right, but they're trying to put it off in another formula. So it's like what they do with the foods, you know what I mean? Like they GMO the foods and take the seeds and all that shit out, and then you'll go back and get it, and it looks like it's real fruit and regular fruit and healthy fruit, but really it's not. You're not gonna grow natural food and it's gonna be grown, or you're not gonna plant it and then it's gonna grow without seeds. You only have certain veggies and like fruits and things out here and things in the nut nature that's gonna have that whole process without any seeds. You know what I mean? So don't fall for this is my truth. You know what I mean? And if you one of them beings that use that statement, just convert it over to the truth. It's more power. You're standing more solid. When you say this is my truth, it's kind of like standing on one foot. When you say this is the truth, now you standing solid on 2 feet. Because now it's not just you trying to isolate yourself as you're the God. You are giving that power over, and it's being passed back to you. It's kind of like basketball, where you pass the ball to somebody for an open shot, and they could take the shot, but then everybody rushes them and they pass it back to you, and now you got a clean shot. You know what I'm saying? Team ball. Give and go. You give the energy where it's supposed to go. The energy is going to send it right back to make sure that you can do what you got to do out here. You know what I mean? But I ain't want to run it up too long. Tapping everything down below. Peace and love to the kings and queens.